Hey everyone, welcome to the Change Makers podcast, the podcast for aspiring entrepreneurs who want more clarity, confidence, and power. Now, I am a big believer in that word clarity. He with the most clarity leads, and he with the cloudy vision must follow along. Now, in this podcast, I interview great entrepreneurs, business owners, leaders. Now, they share their tips and strategies on how to build a great lifestyle. And today I have a beautiful human being who traveled, I mean, 100 countries. And when he shared that, I was like, man, I'm hardly like travel like three countries. Like, what's going on here? And so I'm so excited. I want to learn from this man, and I'm sure you will learn a lot from him as well. So without further ado, I'm going to jump right into it, Mr. Dean Kutchel. How you doing, my man?
So good having you here.
Good
in your space, in your living room.
Good to have you
Have
here.
you ever showed your viewers like what's your space look like and where you live?
maybe
How nice
maybe
it is?
after
Yeah.
we can just show.
You need to do like a house tour.
House
Pretty
tour.
nice. No, it's amazing. It's a really cool space.
Thank you, man. Oh, brother Dean, I'm really inspired by your story, man. You travel. You're the ambassador. Even like a lot of people on your social media called you the King of Digital Nomad because you've been around over 100 countries. That's a lot. Like, just talk more about that and what's the reason that you started all this journey?
Yeah, thank you. Well, thank you very much. And yeah, travel been a big part of my life. You can blame my mom. She's a tour guide leader. So I was born into this family where both my parents were actually traveling quite a bit. We often had guests coming from abroad in our house, speaking in languages that I don't understand, bringing chocolates and gifts from new countries. And I guess, slowly it like kind of dripped into my DNA, and I became really curious about the world. And I always thought like there must be more than just, I'm coming from Israel originally, Tel Aviv, Israel. It's a small country. You can drive from one end to another within 6-7 hours. So there must be better. There must be different. There must be more to it. If it's views, people, opinions, cultures, and I wanted to see this. I grew up in an environment where the best, like the dream life would be have a relocation job. You move to New York, you move to San Francisco, you work 5 years in the office, you make some money, and you come back to Israel. I didn't know that work and travel, the digital nomad, is something that is even possible. I'm 39. I'm 1982 born. Again, there was no internet, right? There was no idea of work and travel until today. People still look at this as like, what's wrong with this guy? Um, yeah, so travel been huge passion of mine. And the moment I learned about the option to work remote, and I can do both of like maintaining my career, grow my net worth, grow my network, and see the world. Yeah, I launched it, and it's happened almost by mistake for me. I didn't plan it. It just happened.
Amazing. So you mentioned about growing your net worth and also your network, and I also know that you lead over 26,000. Now, correct me if I'm mistaken, but 26,000 is like a lot of people. And then we're talking about every month another thousands, like, joining in. So that's a lot. Like, can you tell us like how, because this is the nomad lifestyle. Yeah, you teach them, you guide them online. So tell us the process.
So what you're talking about is the online community that I founded 4 years ago. Yeah, exactly 4 years ago now. It's called Digital Nomads Israel. It's Hebrew-speaking community. It's geared towards Israelis. It's my legacy. And so the digital nomad lifestyle been a big passion of mine. I've been traveling around the world, not just to meet people and explore cultures and places, but really to make an impact and help people to live their best life. I don't know what it means for every person. It means something else, but just installing them their self-beliefs and self-esteem that they can do better. Digital Nomad Israel is my way to do it on a large scale for my people, for Israelis. And it started with 8 people on Facebook, and yeah, as you mentioned, it's actually 29,000 people now,
Wow.
and it's really growing 1,000 people every month. It's amazing, and I see this appetite of people who want to make a change. It's a lot of people. It's not people who are digital nomads. It's people who say, okay, I see the potential of making better life for me with certain changes. And digital nomad doesn't mean, a lot of people, when people hear the term digital nomad, they think work and travel, sit on the beach here in Bali or in Thailand, sip on a cocktail and work from a laptop. It is a big part of it. It's the sexy part of this, but digital nomad lifestyle means that it gives you new freedoms that didn't exist before. The freedom to control your location, time, weather, and government. I control all four. I change the weather. I can make it snow if I want. I can change the government if I want. And this is power that didn't exist just 10 years ago. And that's amazing. So in this online community, we talk about how to get online jobs, how to get remote jobs. We talk about financial independence. It's a big topic for me. It's something I'm very passionate about. And digital nomad lifestyle allow a lot of people to optimize their expenses, right? If you live in an expensive country, then you have the potential now to go with your salary and live in a cheaper country like I do, come from Israel to Indonesia. And for Indonesian, for example, it means that there are so many more opportunities right now. Think about how many more jobs there are there in the world that now can be done online. And when I say when I talk about making an impact in the world, if I can show a kid from Africa how to open a, a window shop, on Fiverr or on Upwork, or sell their translation services on their own webpage, and they can start selling services to foreigners, it's life changing. I literally know people that these jobs, online jobs, change their life for not just themselves or the family, but the entire tribe in Nigeria or in Kenya. And this is what we do in Digital Nomad Israel on a large scale. We talk about mindset. We talk about a lot about just being a better person. Like when you travel the world, when you meet with a lot of people, travel taught me to be million times more respectful than what I was before. It taught me tolerance. It taught me that I'm wrong, that all the assumptions that I came up with either wrong or these are just one opinion in an ocean of opinions. And I think travel is the biggest gift people can give themselves, to go and open their mind, push themselves outside of the comfort zone. And I think I'm successful. I made a lot of things happen for myself, but at the end, it is really, I am the result of all the people I met in my travels. Like even people I met for 1 hour, for 10 minutes, like I'm the result of all these experiences that happened to me, from being robbed in Sarajevo to being loved in Colombia and making a lot of friends around the world, from the fun experiences, the parties, community, the online businesses I've started, public speaking that I do. I learned it from someone. Someone installed these ideas in me. Traveling, I have this mission to visit all 196 countries of the world.
Wow.
This is why I've been to 103 now. I just recently came back from Bahrain and Qatar, which were a country 102 and 104 three for me. But this idea was put in my head in 2007 by a guy I met in Puerto Rico, a guy from Luxembourg who was on the same mission. It's like, it got stuck at the back of my head, and here I am doing it.
That's amazing. I read one of your article, I think, post. It's called "Do You Want to Be Successful?" and something like that. That's the question. And then you talk about mindset. You talk about the importance of like mind. I understand that your mind is like a muscle that you need to train to set the goal so that you can achieve it. Yeah, talk to us about that.
Well, I'm not sure to which specific post you refer, but I have a saying that if you want to be successful,
Yeah.
then be.
Yes, if you want to be successful, that's the one. If you want to, do you want to do? If you want to be successful, then be.
Just be, yeah, be
I love
successful.
that. Be successful.
This is the mindset. I am successful. I said it just 2 minutes ago. Because I believe it, and a lot of people will look at me and say, Dean, no, you're not successful. I don't care how the environment perceive me that much. Of course, I care, but if I feel that I'm successful, it all that matters. And you cannot be successful if all you think is that you're going to fail, right? If you're trying to climb over a wall and it's like, no chance, I cannot do it, I cannot do it. It's like, so yeah, you cannot do it. If you need to understand, your brain need to understand that it's possible to overcome anything. And for
I
me,
love that.
I I also always remind myself that nothing that I'm doing in my life wasn't done before. Like people hear, oh my God, you've been to 103 countries. Aren't you afraid? Aren't you scared? How would you have the courage to do it? And like, guys, I've been to Germany. Like, it's like million people been there just the day before that just traveled there. And it's so easy to travel. Studying an online business, everything. Like, even if I say, oh, I want to go to Mars, someone already did it.
Yeah.
I want to go to the moon, someone already did it. So it's really just looking around us, learning from others, and it will go back. It will go into some advices that I like to share with people. But um, I just tore apart all the negativity from my life. I don't allow myself to think negative, to talk negative. I had really negative people in my life that's like, hey, let's start a business. Hey, let's travel. Let's do this. Let's do that. My best friend. And he was like, no, no, no. It will fail. There's no chance it will happen, work. So we didn't even try. And then I replaced those people with people who with fire in their eyes. Let's go travel. Yeah, man, let's do it. Let's fucking do it. Let's buy the ticket. Can I say fucking on your podcast?
Yes, of
Okay.
course.
So let's
Go
fucking
for
do
it.
it. um, and just launching it. And all of a sudden, when I started to do, success followed. First investment I was scared worked. Starting community worked. Traveling the world worked. Online businesses, everything. And I'm not special. I'm not more talented than anyone. Probably if I use more advice from others, I could be even more successful. But it's just, if you surround yourself with the right people and with the right mindset, yeah, it's like, I train now, like physical train. I do personal training, something that I haven't done never in my life. I train a little bit, but traveling the world, 6, 7 countries, 60 flights a year. That's more than a flight a week. You have no time to go to the gym. Like,
Yeah.
you don't have time. You want to party, you want to meet friends, you want to hang out, you want to see the place you travel to, right? And now, and almost at 40, I'm doing this training, and I'm pushing myself so much, and I believe that this change is possible.
Yeah.
And also something that happened to me last year, I had a burnout, and I got myself out of this burnout. I literally woke up one morning and I said, Dean, this is it. You cannot be depressed in bed, cry, hate your life. Like, this is not you. You've been living an epic life for the last 20 years. Um, get out of it. Get up and do a change. And I made a lot of changes. Of course, not just getting up and say I'm okay now, but I have a personal coach and personal brand manager, and people help me. And that's also one of the lessons learned. Like, for me, a big failure over the years was not asking for help. I was like, let me try to navigate myself. What I've changed in the last 3, 4 months of my life is that everything that that I know that I'm not good at, I ask help. I take the best people I can find for personal training. I take the best personal coach. I spoke to like 6 different coaches. I found someone that resonates with me, that I love his work, what he does, and he changed my brain. I say he killed the old me. He literally killed the old Dean, and people who know me and just talk to me right now, they tell me, Dean, something is changing. What's going on? Like, without them knowing that I'm going through a process. So the first failure was like, to not asking for help or being shy about my situation. I can understand I've reached my limits, and instead of trying to get help, I try to push harder, sleep less hours, work harder, put more hours, put more effort, instead of like asking for help. Think about you're trying to open a metal door and you kick it and you punch it and you say, "Oh, I'll do stronger." No, it's not going to open the door. Just ask someone that actually has the keys. And
I
someone
love that.
is like, "Yeah, just open the door for me. Hey, Dean, this is it." And for me, a lot of people are afraid to pay for, they don't want to pay for services. Like, oh, I can get, it's on the internet, I can
It's
find on
like
YouTube.
YouTube, yeah.
It's like, this is the best life cheat. It is the best hack. And the thing that will buy you more time on this planet and happy times is to pay someone to give you the map. It's
Yeah.
like trying to find this treasure and going without the map. And it's like, if I'll pay, hey, I have the map, but it costs $100. Ah, no, man, it's okay. I don't want to pay. I'll just look for it. I know it's somewhere here. I
Yeah.
literally start paying people. And it's like they came with the map. Hey, here's the treasure.
Yeah.
And bam, changed my life. In my best shape, still
Yeah.
working on it. My best mindset, happiness, money-wise, make more. I quit my main job that made the most money for me, and 2 months later, I already make more money than I ever made in my life. Friends, relationship, everything is just getting better, and I encourage everyone to give it a shot, and that you'll see when you feel that good, things come back to it. Like it attracts the right people into your life. Um, if I need to condense this into like advice for someone is really to don't be afraid to invest in yourself. Like when you pay someone, you invest in yourself, and to surround yourself with people with the right mindset. There's someone smarter than me said that you are the average of the 5 closest friends. Can't can't can be more correct than that. It's like you are the average of your. And I'm trying always to be the lowest average. I want to be the worst of my best friends. Like,
I love that, man. That's led me to that next question that I want to ask you. Like, so aspiring entrepreneurs out there, because this podcast is for those who kind of like, hey, you know what? I want to travel. I want to be like you, Dean. I want to travel around the world, and then I want to create my financial freedom, but I just don't know how. And so, what advice would you give someone wanting to, yeah, live a digital life, digital nomad lifestyle?
I would start with don't focus on becoming a digital nomad. Focus on having an income which is location independent. Right? The digital nomad breaks into two parts. The lifestyle, yeah, I travel, I'm having the time of my life, and I work remote. My income is not dependent on where I'm at. I don't need to walk into an office. Start with the job. Once you have the income, travel is the easiest thing in the world. So many people do it every day. Before pandemic, there were 1 million people in the air at any given moment. So there's always, it's easy. It's easy and it's cheap. We talk about financial independence maybe. Uh, I'm financially independent thanks to travel. I was able to save so much money, even with 60 flights a year. I would spend more on food than I would spend on flights or accommodation.
Wow. Tell us more
In
about that.
one
Yeah.
year, I would spend with 50, 60 flights, $3,000 on flights.
That is cheap.
Yeah, flight is can get really, really cheap. And as you travel
Wow.
more, you start to collect rewards and
Rewards
miles, and you
and
start to travel
points
for free.
and
And also accommodation. I would spend a lot. I stayed a lot in hostels,
yeah, yeah.
which allowed me to connect with people and also save a bunch of money instead of spending, $1,000 a month on accommodation. I found myself paying $300 on accommodation. I met a lot of friends, and now I haven't paid rent in 2.5 years. I have friends all over the world. People open their house, open their hearts, and like it's amazing. I built this network, and life become even cheaper thanks to it. But travel is cheap. Travel, it's really not a problem. So don't worry about this bit. When it goes, and we have very limited time here, and I always give very long answers. Sorry. Um, to be practical, if you want to start your online business, first, don't try to find some new profession. Oh, I heard Amazon is a good business. I heard starting a drop shipping store, or if I go into online marketing, I will make great money. First, look what you're passionate about. You're passionate about surfing? Maybe you can start an online surf shop for product. Do you like writing? You can be content writer. We live in times that it's like a claim to fame, right? Before, if you wanted to be a photographer, you had to go to New York School of Photography, study for 4 years, get a diploma, and maybe you'll get some job. Today, you don't even need to buy a camera. Like, phones today are doing fantastic work for some of these things. You just write on your LinkedIn, I'm a photographer, and you're a photographer. I can write on my LinkedIn that I'm a model. You might not like how I look, but I'm a model. You cannot take it from me. I'm a content writer. Maybe you don't like my content, but I'm a content writer. I'm a travel blogger. Yes, I only been to 2 countries, but I'm a travel blogger, and no one can take it from you. And this is amazing because anyone can go online, start an online business. It's up to us to prove our worth, but it's easy to put the first foot through the door. Starting a business today is easier than ever. You don't need to buy, if you want to start an online shop, you don't need to buy anymore, rent a space, buy stock, nothing. You just go online, Shopify, Amazon, billion other services, all for free. Or for less than $100, you can start something. It doesn't guarantee success, but you can fail 100 times and not spend the same money that you would have to spend 10, 20 years ago to take this risk and try businesses. So don't be afraid to fail and to fail fast. Try businesses. I'll talk about the fail fast at the end of this. But see how you can take your current talent and go online with it. And one way to do it is to do reverse engineering. I had a guy who's a teacher for mathematics. And he said, oh, I want to go do an online business or Amazon business. Like, why? You told me all you talk about is teaching mathematics. That's what you love. Yeah, but how can you be digital nomad and math? So how can you be? Let's see. Let's find a math teacher, an online math teacher. All of a sudden, we have 5,000 results. Let's see what they do. Oh, okay. They use Zoom. They use a pad. They offer this and this pricing. They offer these classes. They offer recording of the sessions. They can now talk to students from all over the world. The guy lives in Thailand for 4 years now, has more students than ever, make more money than ever, doesn't need to stand in traffic, doesn't need to pay parking ticket anymore, changing his life. And he's still doing the one thing that he's passionate about. So is teaching mathematics online. So anyone with anything can do it today. I met a guy who's doing astrology, a lot of content writing, graphic designers, psychologists, everything is online now. And don't listen to people who tell you, it's already saturated. There is enough content writer.
Yeah.
No, they're not. Like, we are 8 billion people on this planet. Half of them don't even have internet yet. So everything is just going to grow even more and more and more in the next decade or two. And if you're looking to have more of a remote job, you want to just do the same job you have, but you don't work for a company, you can go to website like Remote OK, Digital Nomad World. We work remotely. We can probably drop it in the show notes in the end.
Yeah, show notes,
Website that constantly publish jobs, remote jobs. Also, LinkedIn has a very good remote job board, and apply. Put your best resume up. English is key today. Everyone need to have proper English. That's the key, because a lot of companies today, even Google, Microsoft, Apple, they don't hire on your diplomas. Oh, you've been to NYU, great. Like, they don't care for this anymore. They want good people, which are good culture match to their company, because they can teach you anything. How to do AdWords marketing? Okay, we will teach you. We are Google. They have the.
They don't.
Yeah, we know how to do it. But we want to know that you'll stick with us, that you're a good person, that you have what's called soft skills, not learning how to code, but more about being a person, being a teammate, a leader, proactive, being very responsible and dedicated. For me, what helps me throughout my travels to be good at what I do in my jobs, and I worked in tech for many, many years, is I'm very disciplined. And when it's Friday night here in Bali, you want to go out. You want to go to the bars, the beach clubs. But 8 p.m. Bali, Friday, it's 8 a.m. New York. Work only, it only starts the business day. So are you disciplined enough to give up the parties and work? And I am. And that helped me a lot. And you need to understand that you actually need to deliver more when you work remote. You need to be more of a team player, despite you work alone, to compensate for the distance. You need to be more disciplined because no one is sitting behind your shoulder watching what you do.
Yeah.
You know, you need to be self-motivated to do these things. For me, it was always, if like to have this life of like, you know, we have the Bali life outside here. What I need is this job. So that was my motivation. Like, it's okay, if I do this, I can enjoy that. So yeah, that again, my very long answer to how you can start this digital nomad lifestyle. Surround yourself with the right people. Go work from a co-working space, and you'll meet people that are working remote. You know, come to Bali, go to Thailand, go to Canary Islands, go to Medellin, Colombia, go to Bansko, Bulgaria, where you find hundreds of nomads. And when you sit all day around hundreds of people who live this lifestyle and have remote jobs, eventually you will have a remote job. You know, either they will hire you or you just soak so much knowledge that yeah, it's gotta stick with you. But you need to want it. That's all.
Amazing.
I've
I
seen
love that.
thousands of
Yeah.
people that came to my communities like,
Yeah.
oh, it's impossible, and now travel the world.
That's amazing, man. I love what you just said also about soft skill. It's imperative to have that skills as a human, not just like, okay, I can code or I can write content, or, but it's like, do you have the a soft skill where you can work with a team, you know, or you can communicate well? Because that's another thing what you said about English. You know, we want to speak, you know, proper English, and not just that, but also you want to speak well so that the other person or the person, the receiver, the person they speak to, they want to hear you. So then build that bonds, like bond. What you said, like you can now travel around the world. You have family, like you have people that you can just go in and spend time with. You have friends all over the world. That's amazing. I mean, if you traveled over 100 countries, you know, at least you come in contact with people, like people from all over the world. So that's amazing, man. Like, just one more questions, and we call it a day. Where can people connect with you, brother Dean? Like, if they say they're aspiring entrepreneurs out there, they listen to this, they watch this, and they say, look, man, I want to get to know you. I want to be part of your community. Like, how can they connect with you, and where can they find you?
The easiest way would be to come here to Bali and hang out. Second best option would be online, to go on Instagram. This is mostly where I play the social media. As much as I am a very online person, I have a little bit of fatigue from being online. But Dean, sorry, where is
Where
Dean?
is Dean?
Yeah.
That was the Instagram, you know.
Yeah. Where is Dean on Instagram? Dean Kutchel on LinkedIn. It's also a space where I'm pretty active. If you speak Hebrew, you're welcome to join Digital Nomads Israel. And I travel. I attend events all the time. I'll be in 2 events for Digital Nomads in Croatia this May. I'll be in Israel for a little while. I'll be in Bulgaria. There is a big conference it's called Digital Nomad Festival. I'll be there as well. So if you're one of these events, always happy to meet. But yeah, Instagram, LinkedIn would be the best way. Just drop me a line. I'm always happy to answer. And yeah, just do it. You know, it's we talked a little bit before the show about failure, and I have a lot to say about, you know, I like to fail, and I like to fail fast.
Yeah.
And
That's yeah. Let's go into that. What's your biggest failure, and what do you mean by fail fast or fail forward? I like to look at that like that.
I think my biggest failure was not understanding what I mentioned before, that I'm going through a burnout, or not asking for help. That was my biggest failure. Like, I always thought that I can do everything by myself. And now I reach out for help. So that was the biggest failure. But failure, really, the way I define it is, it has a lot of negativity in it. A lot of people look at it in a negative way. But I embrace fail. I love to fail, because failure means progress. It means I tried something. Okay, this option doesn't work, so I need to try something else. And eventually one of these will succeed. And we talk about my followers and my community and financial freedom. We talk about the success, the end result. But on the way there were like millions wrong turns that I took. So what a failure. Failure is a progress. And those who do, you'll always fail, but it means if you fail, it means you're on the way
I
to
love that.
success.
If you
That way,
fail,
it,
it means you are
yeah.
on the way.
Because if you don't fail, it means you just sit on the sofa and do
So it's
nothing.
like
That's what it
couch
is. All
and do
right,
nothing.
next. It's just waiting for something to happen. So,
And another thing that,
yeah.
yeah, man, another thing that I've just discovered about you is that you helping individuals, businesses, and governments to adopt and adapt to the future of work. I love that. Like, wow. So
Yeah.
can you speak on that?
Yeah, so that's really my tagline right now. It's and this is where I focus most of my energy. I want my legacy to be one of these people who really change the landscape of work and how we work today and the future. So I help individuals. I do mentorship for those who want financial freedom, remote work, world travel. I help in these areas, minimalism and mindset. So that's on the individual, and it's also through my community and social media. I try to lead by example and be a force. And then I work with businesses to adopt to the future of work. So if a company develop a software or a service for digital nomads, I step in to help them to understand the market, what are the needs, etc. And same with governments. A lot of governments are now targeting digital nomads in a way that come, stay in our borders, spend your money here, enjoy the country, because it's like a long-term tourist. I come to Bali. I've been here 2 years now. I spend a lot of money here. I'm actually making Bali my home. It's been amazing. So a lot of countries are calling digital nomads, and there should be a legal framework to allow it. So I help countries to design the legal framework in a fair way that it should benefit the government, it should benefit the nomad, and it should benefit the locals, which is a
Amazing.
big part of being a digital nomad.
So my last question, man, what's your vision for the world?
My vision for the world. That taps into my next big project, and it's called I Love Your Race. And it's instead of there's kind of a movement nowadays to, instead of celebrate our differences, is to cover our differences, to say, oh no, we are the same, yeah, we are the same as people, but don't say black person, say Afro-American, don't say Asian, say, I don't know, like they don't say gay, say this, say that, like we're trying to like make up beautiful words instead of like, hey, you're a Muslim? This is beautiful. I love your race. I love your religion. I love your holidays. Let's show me the true colors of, let's celebrate. Let's not all be the same, dress with the same uniform and everyone needs to wear the same. The opposite. If you like to dress in your hijab, let's celebrate this. If you like to dress in your swimsuit, let's celebrate this. So again, celebrate these differences and yeah, just love. This is the beauty. I travel for people, not for places. I don't care for another country. I care for the people in that country, right? For what they speak, what they celebrate, what makes them move, what makes them tick, how they say "I love you" in their language, and I want to celebrate this. And I'm dying to create a movement, and I want people to go on their TikTok or on their Instagram and just record a short message to the world saying "I love your race," and that I can come to someone in the street and say, "Hey, I love your race." I love like. It's so weird if you go, especially in the States, if you go somewhere to do it, they will like look at you very weird. I say I love you to strangers, like, and try this once when you even get your coffee. When the cashier say thank you, instead of saying thank you, say I love you, and just see their reaction.
I
It's
love
like,
that.
oh,
Wow.
okay, that's nice. Like,
That's nice. I'm going to try that, honestly.
so try
Definitely.
it, yeah.
Wow, that's a beautiful vision, brother Dean. And hey, thank you so much, man.
Thank you,
Thank you for your
thank you for
time,
having me.
brother. And I'm sure you guys learned from a lot from this wonderful man. And as he shared just these insights in my head, like popping like one after another, like yeah, that's right. Like you all you need is to find a good people, surround yourselves with. If you want to be live a nomad lifestyle, go and find at least 5 people who is in that industry or who are doing it, live and breathe that thing, and then you will become the sixth. You will become the
Yeah.
5 people that you surround yourselves with. And I love this man because he's so humble, and he one could say will learn open and willing to learn, yeah, from the best of the best. And don't be afraid, man, to invest in yourself. Like you, if you are aspiring entrepreneur just about to start something, the mindset that you want to have is to just invest. And invest in what? Invest in you. This is what this man, showed us. He invests in himself. He has a coach, business coach, a health coach, and so that's what one could say lead him to the success that he has now. So thank you so much again, brother.
Thank
And
you.
guys, don't forget to download the Changemakers Manifesto. This book will help you, and there's no obligation. It's free. Download it and work and do the homework to gain that mental clarity. As I said, clarity. He with the most clarity leads, and he with the cloudy vision must follow along. If you want to be a leader, if you want to be an entrepreneur, you must have mental clarity. So download the book. It's in description, and also if you want to connect with Dean, there will be a link on LinkedIn and also Instagram. Connect with this man, this powerful man. I'm sure you will learn a lot from him. So thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Thank you.